Well, in Placer County, we like to say it's recycling and disposal made easy because it really is as simple as residents putting their garbage and recycling in one bin, and we do the recycling for you, and we call it the One Big Bin program. I'm Chris Hansen, the Senior Planner with Placer County's Waste and Recycling Program. Right now we're at the Western Placer Waste Management Authority's Material Recovery Facility in Roseville, and we like to call it the MRF. Once residents put their garbage on the street, it's going to be picked up by their local garbage hauler, and depending on where they live, it'll be taken to one of the two materials recovery facilities in the county. In Eastern Placer County, we have the Eastern Regional Materials Recovery Facility in the Tahoe area. In the Western Placer County, the garbage is taken to the Western Placer Waste Management Authority facility here in Roseville, which is where we are today. Once the material comes to the facility, the first thing that happens is the garbage hauler will dump it on the facility floor. And that's where actually some of the sorting begins. If there's larger materials like lumber or scrap metal, they'll pull that out at the beginning, and then a loader will load up the waste onto conveyor belts where it'll start to go through the process. Some of the initial sorting that's done is done by screens. We have a variety of screens that'll sort the material by dimension or by size, by weight. For example, metals and heavier materials will go one direction, and they'll pass through a series of magnets. We actually have very large magnets that hover over the conveyor belts, and they'll pull out any magnetic materials. So after the mechanical sorting, the material is pretty well sorted by the time it reaches the people that work at the MRF, the hand sorters. And they're still a very significant part of this facility because we like to say there really is no substitute for the human eye, as well as their knowledge of what's recyclable and not. They're looking for specific material types. So one sorter might be assigned to paper and lightweight plastics. And so as the material goes by, they'll be picking out the paper or the plastics and putting them in a chute. And from there, that chute goes to a bunker where the material is then bundled and baled for recycling. So one question we get a lot is about papers. If paper is thrown in with the rest of your garbage, can it still be recycled? And the short answer to that is yes. So sometimes paper does come in that's maybe dirty or messy in some fashion, and that's okay, we're able to recycle that. One of the more interesting technologies at this facility is the eddy current separator, and that handles some of the metal items that aren't picked up by the magnets, such as aluminum cans, and essentially knocks them off one conveyor belt into another where it can be baled for recycling. Probably one of the biggest benefits to the One Big Bin system is that's just easy on our residents. People don't have to memorize what's recyclable and what's not. We do that for you. In some areas, people are expected to separate their recycling from their garbage, and quite simply, not everybody is going to do that. But with our system, 100% of our residents are participating in the recycling program, whether they know it or not. There are also larger, broader environmental benefits to our system. Our haulers are able to collect the material in one truck on one route, and that's fewer trucks on the road and fewer greenhouse gas emissions. We're proud to say that the One Big Bin system is very effective. The state law requires that all cities and counties divert from landfills at least 50% of its waste. And here, Placer County-wide, we're recycling more like 68 to 72% annually. The recycling is important to us. We realize this is a unique system, but we want to make it easy for you and effective. It's just one way we're doing our part to protect the environment in Placer County.